If you guys haven't watched part 1 of the series, I guess you don't really have to. It's only the best love story of all time. Hi guys, TisNessie here, and welcome to part 2 of my 2-part series of I Dated a Furry. Now, as I said in my part 1, you guys should know that I am absolutely positively not shaming the furry community. In fact, I think it's actually pretty interesting, and I think as long as you're not a murderer, a rapist, you do you, boo. I don't have to worry about COPPA. I don't make any money from these videos. On to the video before I talk way too much. I'm really excited because Nick Wilde actually asked me out.
I was also wondering if on Monday you'd like to go out with me?
Sure. Yeah, I've been asked out on my first date. Holy shoot. That is awesome. I mean, it's on the phone. I always wanted it to be like, in person, but you know what? I'll take what I can. It's better than text. So the party's great, and then the next day I'm just thinking, wait, he never said what are we doing? Are we going to see a movie? Are we going to go for dinner? I hate dinner dates. What are we gonna do? So I eventually text him and I ask, hey, what are we gonna do on Monday? To which then he calls me. He was actually planning on taking me out to see a movie, but his parents wouldn't be able to drive us because they had to work late or something like that. So then he asks me,
Do you like Starbucks?
Guys, if you know anything about me, I love Starbucks. But back in those days, I wasn't really that well informed about the menu, but I've been going to Starbucks for a few years. I was really looking forward to this date. I remember telling people, in my science class, and they're like,
oh, so, how are you?
I got my first date. We're going to Starbucks, and it's awesome. I was just really excited about my first date. I mean, I couldn't pick out an outfit or anything for my first date because we were literally going right after school, and we are a uniform school, so you know what? It's fine. I'll take what I can. And I was just, super excited to be with this guy. I couldn't believe that I was actually finally going on my first date, thinking this is, the day that I'm going to be telling people about my first date, literally probably on YouTube, but I waited 10 years to tell the story. So anyways, date comes. He knows where my locker is, so we decided to meet at my locker and walk to the Starbucks that's across the street. And then this is this is something I did not know that they had. Starbucks had their winter menu up, which meant that only a few limited things were on said menu, and the only thing that I drank at the time at Starbucks were frappuccinos. My personal favorite and the only one that I really ever tried was the double chocolatey chip frappuccino. I would recommend that drink, but lately I've grown a distaste for it. It wasn't on the winter menu, and the only thing that they had that was the safest bet was the vanilla bean frappuccino. I haven't had this frappuccino since. It was a safe bet, and it was fine. We get the drinks, we sit down, and we're just chilling. We don't really know what to talk about because, we've only been talking for 2 weeks, and usually there's something to talk about, whether that's school or class or something, but we literally just don't really know what to talk about. And then even when I ask him a question, he was super quiet. This guy was so quiet. The music that was playing in the Starbucks was louder than this guy. I think that the date's going really well. He's not saying anything offensive. He's not saying anything weird. It's my first date. I'm just happy to be here. There was a few awkward silences, of course, where we don't know what to talk about, so I started to do this. You guys feel free to steal this. It's called the awkward turtle, and when we started to do this, we just laugh, and then eventually conversation would happen again. It's a weird thing, you're not talking, next thing you know, you start doing this. I don't know why, I just realized that was really fucking weird. So I asked him the almighty question about when he started to like me, because to me, the timeline didn't really make much sense on his end, or my end. How on earth did this happen? So he told me that it wasn't love at first sight or anything like that. It's not like he saw me and was like,
oh my god, I have a crush on this girl.
He told me that it was actually the day of the haunted house that he started to grow a crush on me because of him holding me through the haunted house. Or at least that's what I understood. And then here comes the juicy part. We somehow get to the topic of sports because this guy used to play basketball. He tells me,
yeah, I always wanted to wear the mascot uniform.
To which I responded, yeah, I wish I could wear the mascot uniform too. That's pretty cool. And then he leans in and tells me,
no, you don't understand. I'm a furry.
You'd think that'd be the end of the date, but instead my response was, what's that? Seriously, I had no idea what a furry was. He proceeded to tell me about what it was.
Furries, they just like to dress in costumes.
Cool. We all like to dress in costumes. I'm a theater brat. like, of course we like to dress in costumes. I never really understood it, and then later on that night, he actually sent me a few videos of what a furry was, and it was just people in mascot costumes just like dancing. I still didn't know what that was. If I knew about the sexual part of it, then I'd probably be a little bit more freaked out about that at the time, but, you know, I just didn't know what it was. I thought it was just like a small part of him, like it was like a hobby or something, kind of like how I love to play video games, but like I'm not going to talk about it all the time, and like I don't game religiously, so it's not like a huge part of my life. He doesn't have a furry suit or anything, so it's not like it's a huge part of his life. I didn't bother doing any research on it because I thought it was just something small. Like, I just thought it was weird because I'm just like, so he's a guy who likes to wear animal costumes, but like mascot costumes. I just put it as like one of those weird things, but like I still liked him as a person. That was just like a small thing about him that I thought was kind of weird, but it wasn't enough for me to break up with him. We were fighting this one day near Christmas. He told me that he had a dream that I was. That's when I kind of knew that it was a little bit more than just like something small. I'll probably do a third part if I ever get around to it, or if you guys seem to like want to know about like what the fight was about, because that's really juicy.
Like I care, you know.
The furry part wasn't a huge part of it, so that's why I'm not going to put it in this video. It was like a really large dramatic moment. If you guys want to see that video, give this video a like. Believe it or not, it wasn't actually until 3 years ago. I was with Natasha and I was literally in her car and I was like, dude, I dated a furry. Now I know what a furry is. So it was a bit more dramatic than that. That's when I knew that I had to make this video. Obviously, this guy and I are no longer together. When we broke up, we actually remained friends a couple years later. And the reason why we're no longer friends, maybe that could be another video too. I could probably do a whole series on this guy. If by any chance that Nick Wilde was watching this, because I know he's still in contact with my brother, I just want to let you know, even though we broke off in terms of our friendship as well as a romantic relationship, you were still super sweet. I still am glad that you were in my life, and I'm really glad that you provided me this story, and I'm glad that of all the guys that I could have gone out with for my first date, it was you. I don't want to get too mushy here. So that's the story of how I dated a furry, and when I dated a furry, whatever it is. If you guys want more videos just like this one, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell. Don't forget to comment down below, or even just talk to me on social media. I am 1000% going to respond to you because, guys, I'm super lonely. I will talk to you guys soon. Keep calm and sparkle on.